What's up, guys? My name's Cody. I wanted to start putting some disc golf videos on YouTube. Avid disc golfer, so I figured I'd start with a what's in my bag video. Got a bunch of discs to show you guys that I keep in my bag, and ones that I normally throw in my everyday bag. So start off with my putters. My two main putters. I use Gateway Wizard 175. This is my main putter. You know, level shots, high wind situations, flies real nice and straight. This is what I use on, just normal tap-ins, 30-footers, anything in that area. This is one I go to. Real stable, just straight flyer. Next, my other main putter is a Gateway Warlock. The Wizard's beaded, and the Warlock is just, sloped in, curves in, nice round edge on it. This one I use for further putts. Not so good in the wind. This one I like. It's understable, a little bit understable, but mostly stable. But this one I can, upshot around trees, further shots if I needed to, nice tight S somewhere, but mainly if I need to get around stuff. I have three other putters in my bag. Soft Voodoo, also from Gateway. This one, it's pretty new. I haven't actually used it much, but it's stable. A little bit smaller bead than the Wizard. It's also beaded, but it's a smaller bead. This one, I use it for mainly short putts, just putts that I need to tap in. I haven't experimented with it very much, but so far I like it. I have a Flex Challenger from Discraft. It's a beaded putter, real gummy, real soft. You can see, not going to do anything to it. This one I use it for mainly layup shots, downhill layup shots. It doesn't roll very much, doesn't like to roll. Some of my other putters, if they hit a bad edge or something, they'll take off rolling. But this one, if I just need to lay it up on a downhill putt, sometimes I also approach with this one. This one is real nice for approach. It has a nice flight path. But that is the Flex Challenger from Discraft. And my my fifth putter, I use is an Enode from MVP. It looks awesome. This disc is probably the coolest looking disc that I have. But this one I use for, if there's a short hole or something. This one has a perfect flight path, very stable. Longer upshots I'll use it for. I also like this one for, if I got a downhill putt, like on a real steep slope, or an uphill putt where I know it'll just hit the chains and fall right in the basket. There's no messing around with this putter. It just hits a basket right in. Next, I'll show you guys my mid-ranges. I carry three mid-ranges usually in my bag. First, I have a Flex Buzz from Discraft, Flex Plastic. It is my most stable putter, or mid-range, and I use it for straight shots, left-hand turn shots. It'll go super straight when I throw it, and then just fade left right at the end. And that's my main mid-range that I use. I also have another Flex Plastic Buzz in my bag. This one is more understable. I use it if I have a sharp right turn, not that far of a turn, but I just need to lay up and I need to curve it right first. This disc will do it perfectly. I wasn't too sure about the Flex Plastic at first, but Sometimes it feels like less stable in your hand, but I like it. Um, the buzz is awesome. It's the best mid-range I've ever thrown. It does whatever line you put these buzzes on, they will do. Like I said, this one it's more beat up, so it's pretty understable. Throw it, but if you throw it on a high Anheuser angle, it'll turn back. But that one I use a lot. This is the newest disc in my bag. It is a Discraft Meteor. Slightly understable. When I throw it, just understable, and it'll come back. I've only been using it for actually 3 or 4 days, but I'm liking it so far. Far shots, downhill shots, 300-foot downhill holes, just perfect. It'll just sail down there, land right where you want it to. Haven't really had any problems with it rolling yet, but I guess I'll find out. But I do keep it in my bag. I like it so far. On my drivers, my main driver is a Star Sidewinder Innova. I think it's a 169. Slight understable. Throw it out, fade right, turn back, and just keep gliding, and it'll end with a nice fade to the left. I throw all my shots back in, so when I'm talking about a Heiser and Anheuser, I throw back in. Probably I get the most distance out of this driver. Sometimes, every once in a while, I'll tomahawk with this disc, depending on the length that I need to tomahawk. But if less, pretty good for tomahawk. Just throw it out there, curve out, and land where you want it to. Next driver I have is a Discraft Surge. I love Surges. Surges are probably one of my favorite drivers. This one, it's a 169 also. It's pretty new. I've only been using it since the start of this spring. I had it at the end of last year, but I didn't really get it broken until this year. Super straight and with a fade right. You can turn it over a little bit, but for the most part it's just super straight, middle and left with a nice fade. My next disc is a Discraft Tracker. This disc, I haven't really used it that much, but since I've been using it, I don't know, I use it for about maybe 350 foot holes when I need to go super straight and end left. It does a nice hook curve at the end, and it'll fade out. But this disc, I haven't really used it that much, but I do like it. You can't turn it over that much, at least this one, yet. It's not all that broken, I don't think. But I do like the tracker. This disc right here is the disc in my bag. When I need a disc that I don't really know what disc I want to use for a certain shot, I go right to this disc. It is a Innova Groove. I'm not sure the way I found it, and it has got me some insane shots. I use this disc for spike Heisers. I can tomahawk it on an angle, kind of between tomahawk and sidearm, and put it on that angle. Big curve shots when I need to get out of some rough rollers. This is my roller disc. I'm just starting to throw rollers, and this is the best disc I've found, or I have in my bag that'll do them. But this disc right here, it is, when I first started using it a lot for my backhand, I could throw it probably about 400 feet and it'll fade left at the end, but now it is kind of understable. So if I bomb it, it'll fade right pretty far, and it'll end left, but it is kind of understable. But that's my go-to disc. This right here, my first die that I did. Didn't turn out too well, but it is what it is. It is a Innova Blizzard Wraith. This is my disc for uphill shots, steep uphill shots, and it is super, super understable. It is so beat in. But I mean, it's a 150. This is a 150 weight, and it is Blizzard. It has the bubbles around the rim. If I need an understable shot, dog leg right, uphill shots, and bomb it uphill, it'll fade right and left. But I love this disc. I don't know what I'd do if I didn't have it in my bag. This disc is super overstable. It is a Innova Blizzard Ape. I'm not sure of the weight. I believe it's a 150 also, but it's super overstable. And throw it straight for about 250, 300 feet, and then it'll end left every time. I use this for hard hook shots, dog leg lefts. That's mostly what I use it for. I don't throw it too often, but I keep it in my bag for those left. If I need a turn shot, this is the disc I go to. Next disc, a Discraft Flick. I have been using this a lot lately. I used to have one before, about 2 years ago, but my backhand wasn't good enough to throw it. But I got this off of somebody, and I'm starting to really like it. Slightly understable. It'll end left every time, overstable. And I use this disc for, my sidearm. This is my sidearm disc. But the Flick, mostly I use it for, kind of like my groove. If I need to throw it out at an angle and trust it to come back, it'll do whatever you want it to do, pretty much. But I haven't thrown it that much. I probably should throw it more, but I keep it in my bag. I like it. It does what it does. Innova Champion Turn. Probably the second nose disc I have in my bag. I love it. When I first got it, super overstable. I didn't really throw it that much until I started, beating it in a little bit. It is understable. It's overstable, but you can turn it over. Understable, and I throw this disc for, long shots where I need it to end left. I can pretty much put it anywhere. It'll do whatever I want. If I need to turn it over at first, trust it to come back, it will. It's starting to get beat in where it'll fly straight, probably about 300, 350 feet and left. But I do throw this some forearm too, and it's slightly understable when you forearm it, and it'll turn left, fade right at the end. But Champion Turn. I love this plastic too. I'm gonna have to try some of the new discs they came out with in that plastic. Champion Eagle Innova. This disc is probably my second most used disc in my bag for my driver. This disc is just super straight. I believe it is a max weight or 173. This disc super straight, great in the wind. I'm just getting it to where I can turn it over a tiny bit and it'll go down, but if I need a super straight shot and left, or just, I could turn it over a little bit and just have it end in a straight path, this is the disc I go to. I'm getting better with it. I don't really throw this high of a weight disc, but it is the heaviest disc I have in my bag. All my drivers are between, I like mid 160s to 170, 169. And I also have those Blizzards that are 150 weight for uphill shots, and that. Now I have some other discs that sometimes, I swap in and out of my bag. Putter, I have a Super Soft Magic from Gateway. It is, you can form it to do whatever you want. This one is understable. I can make it, I usually use it if I need to, go up around something, and I don't want it to roll at the end, so if I need a layout shot where I need to hook it up around, I usually go to this disc. And it's not beaded, so it's not really that stable when I just want to go for a putt, so I don't really use it for that, but I do use it for layup shots, and it's also pretty good at approaching. That's that disc. The other disc I actually have in my bag a lot, I just took it out, is another Buzz from Discraft. It's Z plastic. This one is a little bit overstable, but for the most part it's stable. I don't know, I'm in between on it. I don't really know. It seems to, I don't know if it's just that beat in where it doesn't do the same thing most of the time, but I go to it every now and then. This one I can make it do whatever line I put it on, it'll do. If I need to turn it over a little bit, or if I need a hard cut when I throw it, I go to that disc. This is an Avenger SS from Discraft. It is slightly understable, but it'll end left. I can throw it probably 350, 400 feet. When I throw it out, this disc I usually use if I need to turn it over when I drive. I turn it over. It'll just glide on that angle for a good ways. And then it'll either just end or turn back left. But I go to that one a lot. This one is the most overstable disc that I have. It is a Nuke from Discraft. I keep it in my bag if I'm going somewhere where I know I'm going to need a lot of hyzer shots, spike hyzers. This is the perfect disc I have for it. I personally can't throw them that far, but this one, it's pretty beat in, and it's still super overstable. So I use that for spike hyzers and hard cut shots. This is a Star SL from Innova. This was in my bag for the longest time. I never really backhanded this disc. When I got it, I couldn't backhand that well, so I flicked it a lot. And this was my Tomahawk disc for the longest time, Tomahawk and Thumbers. But this is pretty beat up. That's mainly what I used it for, is Tomahawk and Thumbers. I think it's a pretty good roller disc too. I'd have it turn over on a thumber, and catch an edge and just roll. But Star SL, that's what that is. I throw in my bag every now and then. And my last disc that I have is a Latitude 64 Striker. This disc, one of my friends had one a couple years back, and his I loved. This one I love. Not understable at all overstable. Throw it on a line for about 300 some feet, and just have it end left every time. This one I throw a spike hyzer sometimes. Flies great for that. But I should probably use it more than I do. But that's that Latitude 64. I also have a Latitude 64 Fuse mid-range that is slightly understable. Actually, it's a lot understable, and it's a mid-range. It's awesome, but I got a few buzzes in my bag, and that's mainly what I use when I go to mid-range. Also, I have a couple other putters, some AVRs, but I fell in love with those Gateways, and that's pretty much my bag. and what I have in it every day. So I'm going to start doing some more disc golf videos, filming some of our course, my group of guys that play, and putting them up, and also some instructional tutorial videos to try to help some of you guys out that maybe just beginning, or people that have been playing for years that want to learn a few things. So if you want to subscribe, and I'll start putting more videos up every now and then. If you guys want to know anything, ask questions, I'll try to answer them as much as I can. But thanks for watching.